Hi, my name's Ian Woods. First, I'm going to turn the camera around and show you guys my audience. Okay, let's back up here. Alright, so most of you guys have flown in an airplane before. A lot of people are unaware, though, that being a commercial pilot is very trying and very depressing, and it's actually riddled with sin. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. To me, flying can be one of the most liberating things you can do. It is awesome. It's a great pastime. I'm actually starting to fly a lot. I'm really enjoying it. But the commercial aviation field is actually riddled with sin. It's got a huge drug problem. It's got a huge alcohol and sexual immorality problem. It's also very depressing for the family members. I would know I'm actually a commercial aviation kid. My dad is a commercial pilot. That's actually how I know so much stuff about this, is because my dad has given me so much information, and he's actually shown me, people who have struggled with stuff like that and have gone through similar things I'm going to talk about. Pilots need the power of Christ just like anybody else does. They get to see the world at parts of the world that most people won't be able to see in their entire life. They also get to see it from an angle that most people only get to see once or twice a year. They get to see it 15 times a month. But even with that said, it's very depressing. It's very hard on them because they're away from family. It's dark. It's a lot of hard work, and they put in hard hours, and it's trying on them. But that's what I'm going to talk about. Aviation is a great platform to spread the gospel. You can spread it in the cockpit, and you can spread it outside the cockpit. You don't have to be flying. You don't have to be the one behind the controls to spread the gospel in the aviation field. As I said before, I gained all this information through my father. He's a great example of how a Christian can be a Christian and still be a pilot, a commercial pilot. Aviation is a wonderful platform, like I said before. It's something that Christians need to invade and to use as a platform. During this presentation, I'm going to break it down. First, I'm going to break it down through how trying can be on a commercial pilot, and then I'm going to show you two examples and two ways that we can actually use commercial aviation to, or maybe not even just commercial aviation, maybe just aviation in general, to really spread the gospel. My main point number one, as I said, was I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the aviation industry. Julie Perovic, in her article titled "The Economic Benefits of Aviation Performance in the Travel and Tourism Competitiveness Index," says the aviation industry, tourism, and international is providing the world's only rapid worldwide transportation network. So what makes the aviation industry better than anything else is it's so efficient. That's why people would rather fly than drive somewhere. They can get somewhere in 2 hours that would sometimes take 14 by car. It's also really rewarding. Pilots, they work really hard, but they get paid for it, and they work hard, but the pay equals it out. But one thing most people don't understand is how depressing and how hard it is on them, and because they're away from family, they don't get to see their loved ones during holidays and stuff. It's kind of hard on them. It's also, that's where sin starts creeping in. As my father has shown me, we've had friends that have struggled with stuff like this before, and they've struggled with cheating on their wives, they've struggled with drugs, they've struggled with alcohol, and it's all because they're gone so much, and it really opens the door for Christians to really invade that and to spread the gospel and be that light in the dark. You can influence, as I said, in two ways. You can be in the cockpit, and you can be outside the cockpit, and both you can be a witness, be your integrity, just doing right when no one's looking, and then also just by starting conversation with someone. And that's what I'm going to talk about real quick, is a story that Bill Hable, a published author, tells a story in his book, Becoming a Contagious Christian, about how an airline pilot at 27,000 feet in his Boeing 727 led his fellow co-pilot to the Lord. So that is a prime example of how someone can use the platform that God has given them to really spread the gospel in what they've done. And I think that's awesome. I mean, my dad has told me stories of times he struck up conversations with people who are maybe higher up than him and had more time, but they respected him for bringing that in, and they've actually appreciated what he's told them. My next main point is how we can be a Christian outside the cockpit and through aviation. Marsha Kearns describes in her article, Aviation Information, the importance of missionary aviation, how important flying and funding is for these people. I emphasize the word funding because that is also a huge part of missionary aviation and just being a missionary in general that people don't understand. Most people just see the tip of the spear, the people going out and saving all these third world country people. But what people don't see is that there's a lot of work and back work behind it, and that's something as a commercial pilot we have the ability to fund. Something they teach us here at Liberty University is because we have a commercial field and we have a missionary field. And they teach us that we need to make ties with the missionary field so that when we're in the commercial field and we make the money, we can send it to them because they're going to use the money better than we ever could. They're going to use the money to save the lives that we could never save, because they're going to be the ones that have the money to go out there. So that's something they've really taught us really hard here at Liberty University. So in review, commercial aviation is a very dark and depressing place, and we need the gospel, just like anybody else. And the platform I have been given through commercial aviation opens the door to so many different people. And it opens the door to, it gives me opportunities to reach people that I never would if I never had the opportunity to fly. God can use pilots and the funder. That's another thing I want people to understand, is that you don't have to be in the field to spread the gospel. And then finally, we're here to put God's plan into action, simply enough. Whatever field we're in, whatever we're doing, it's our duty to really present the gospel in whatever field we're in. Thank you.